In this lesson, we're going to be explaining the advantages and disadvantages of attacking small and large targets. But first, to dispel the understanding here, when I say small versus large, I'm not referring to the physical size of the fencer. So in this case, I'm not saying we're training with Eva because she's smaller than me and she's training with me because I'm bigger. This is not what we refer to as small versus large targets. What we are referring to is the specific area in which we are trying to attack on our opponent. So a small target is not inherently connected to the size of our opponent, but rather the nature of the target we are trying to exploit. To begin, I'm going to point out what we are going to interpret as a small versus a large target. So with Eva on guard, a large target is going to be the inside line. If I'm attacking into 4, this would be a large line. However, if I'm attacking into 6, I would be attacking the shoulder. This is going to be a small target. So large target here, small target here. Also, what we can consider a small target is the back. The reason why we're going to assume this is a small target is because we cannot see it. And where we're going to place that touch, we're not entirely sure. So for the sake of argument, we're going to refer to the back as a small target. So large target, that could be 4. Large target can also be 7, small target 6, and 8, facing forward. Now, what makes these small targets? Well, for 6, it's quite small because the shoulder and the arm is taking up a lot of space, so I can only really hit here or here. That's going to be pretty small. Attacking underneath the arm, so position 8 or up top, that's going to be small here. Again, for the same reason, the arm is kind of reducing the size of the target for me to hit. So I can hit what I can see direct, which is a small target, or again, as I referred to, the back is small, so I can also attack the low line and trying to hit 8 over there, but again, it's a small target. I can't really see it, so I'm not entirely sure where it's going to land. That's the issue. So small and small. What makes these large targets? Well, they're on the inside line. They're quite far away, so there's nothing really defending them apart from distance. And that means attacking them, there's a large surface, but they are far away. So it's not necessarily something I have to worry about missing, but it is something I'm going to worry about trying to travel towards because of the distance added to it. So small targets because the target is slightly obscured, large targets because the target is mostly not obscured. I might not be able to see it directly, but it is a large open space. Now that we've identified the small versus large targets, we are now going to explain why we would exploit one target over the other. So Eva's going to stand on guard. I'm going to put my mask on. And we're going to look at the pros and cons of each of these targets. So we're going to work our way from the outside in, and that means we're going to be starting with the small targets first. Now, why are we wanting to attack this? What is the advantage? It is extremely close, relatively speaking. So I don't have to get as close to my opponent to score a touch on the shoulder or on the side. It's relatively accessible as far as distance is concerned. So for that, that's a big bonus. It is close. The other reason why we might want to go there is our opponent is already pretty confident it is well defended. The arm is in the position, the blade is covering it. So attacking into it might seem a little daunting, but at the same time, our opponent is more likely expecting us to attack to the inside line. So they're not really prepared to parry at 6 per se. This depends on if you're fencing someone who's a novice, intermediate, or advanced. So attacking the smallest line, so if I attack in 6, this is going to be advantageous because it's a lot closer. I don't have to get as close to make the touch. Same thing, attacking into 8 or octave. I can do a direct lunge into it, but again, remember the arm, the hand is obscuring the target somewhat, so you have to make sure that you're making it accessible. So if you do the extension, you can lunge and you can place the touch. Or, if you really want to, you can attack from the outside and come in and attack from the back. This is, again, a challenge because it is a smaller target, but it maintains that you are going to be a little bit safer as you will be farther away. Now, attacking large targets. again, Eva's going to return back to on guard. For the beginner and novice fencer, the inside line, 4 and 7, is going to be extremely inviting. It's a very large target. The blade isn't in the way. I feel like I can take that. So, pros. It is extremely accessible. I can see it, nothing is in the way. I can go hit that. Too much to defend. Con. The target is farther away, so that means I have to get a little bit close. This is an issue. So, I attack. It takes me longer to arrive. Gives Eva more time to defend and stop the attack. That's an issue. Second issue, since the small targets are already well defended, this area is left open for a very obvious reason. It's an invitation. She wants me to attack her there, so if I do the extension, she's just going to parry me. She doesn't need to position her arm in the way to stop the attack. She's defending what is most at risk, the outside line, 6 and 8, so she's going to leave the large target open so that we feel we can exploit it. So again, if we're on guard, if I want to attack that, 2 things have to happen. I have to lunge, and if I get parried, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Or 2, I have to get in closer, which is a really big problem because, again, my target is also following me in. So exploiting a large target, not a great plan, because it is mostly a trap. It is meant to suck you in. Attacking the smaller targets, this is more advantageous. This is what you want to do. And again, let's look at the back. So again, we're on guard. Attacking the back. Advantage? Well, it's very difficult to defend. Why? Because it's facing the other way. We're not putting much effort into defending our back. So if I do set up my attack, it is going to land. No question about it. If, on the other hand, I'm attacking the front, our opponent is more aware of the risk here, so they're more likely to parry. So attacking the back is advantageous. It is a small target in that we don't know necessarily where we want to place the touch, and it is obscure. But attacking small targets is ideal for the reason I already explained, safety and accessibility. You don't have to commit as much of your target moving forward to hit them. And the risk of attacking a large target, potential for traps, and that they're ready to parry. You don't want to do